Hey, hey, hey. Hello, people. Hello. How are you all doing? Trust you all are good. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Trust, your day has been fruitful so far. Mm? Trust you're having a productive day. Unlike some of us who are lazying about. Okay? So, I've been away for work purposes and I came back the early hours of this morning and I spent a lot of time in bed this morning. I just didn't want to get out of bed. Well, I was up early and then I went back to sleep. And then I was up again around 9 and my next door neighbor had some parcels that were delivered to her, so she had to bring them to me. I wanted to go pick it up. Hi Henry, how are you? Yeah, I wanted to go pick them. Hi Nkem, hello, all of you. Trust you all are good. So I wanted to go pick them up and she kindly dropped them off herself and we had a chat, and after that I went back up to look at my purchases. And then I had these sweet potatoes, Ugandan sweet potatoes, lovely white sweet potatoes that I wanted to eat. So I said to myself, I should put it on, because it takes a long time to cook. Yeah, the African kind of sweet potatoes do take very long to cook. So I'm trying to make something native. But let me tell you the story about my sweet potatoes. So I put the potatoes on and then I put some washing on. They were white, so it was set for cotton, even though it's eco wash, and that was about 3 hours plus to wash. So I put the washing on at the same time as my potatoes. And I had to use a big pot. See, there are just two potatoes. I decided to use this massive pot to boil my potatoes and then put a lot of water in it so that I could put it on low heat and then go back upstairs. So I done that, and normally to put it on low heat, I would let it boil first. Hi Ogechi, hi Manuel Okafo, how are you guys doing? Happy Monday, trust you all are good. So I put it on and I said, let me get it to boil first before I turn the heat down. And unfortunately, I put it on high. Something happened. I went back upstairs and forgot about it. I got carried away upstairs, only for the smell of burning to bring me back down. So my lovely sweet potatoes got burnt. And I said, Mbano, no way. I must eat the unburnt part. But anyway, that is my interesting story for this morning. It's still nice though it tastes, you can smell the burnt thingy while you're eating. Anyway, another thing I wanted to eat today, I felt like eating. And I've told you guys that whenever you see me inside this kitchen cooking for myself, the burnt part is sweeter. Do you know that funny enough, I like the burnt part of jollof rice. I love the bottom of burnt jollof rice not only burnt jollof rice, but also oil rice. We call something oil rice or baby rice, where you fry onions in oil and then you boil your rice in it. Mm. Normally, I use jasmine rice. It tastes so nice. Allow it to burn, and then eat the bottom part. You will love it. Anyway, that is by the way. See, I only drink sparkling water because normal water doesn't taste good for me. It tastes awful. And a lot of people can't drink sparkling water because they think it tastes awful. So I'm always opposite or abnormal. Call me abnormal. By the way, the last time you guys saw me make a native dish called tubani, the one that I steamed inside these leaves. Look, I left my leaves there and they've gone dry. Never mind, put this away. Now, there are two different types of that dish. This other type, I don't know how to make it very well, but it is the one that I love so much, and it's a street food in the northern part of Ghana. It's called gabele. Gabele in the Dagbani, Dagomba language. Dagomba language is Dagbani, right? Dagbani. I speak Dagbani. I used to speak it very, very well because I grew up among them. But I think now I do understand it very well, but I'm beginning to forget some of the words because it's been so many years. It's been over 20 years, and I do have a few friends that I communicate with every now and then, but I hardly get to speak it. Okay, so last time I used bambaran beans, right? I'm sure this is bambaran beans, but if it's not, hey, F it. We'll try it. We'll try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, hey ho. And this is a cassava flour, which the Ashantis locally call it kokonte, right? So with this type, ooh, I'm making a mess. I've never made this myself. So I'm going to do a little bit in case it doesn't work. So that was the never mind, forget it. So I've put some kokonte in here, and I'll add my suma or my bean flour, right? Okay. It's also steaming, but this one you steam it directly. Okay. This one is plenty. I've mistakenly put a lot inside, and even though at the end of the day I'm only going to eat a tiny bit of it, not a lot, but a tiny bit. Let's go this way. Okay, so see that my water is boiling already, and I'm not going to use my hands today because I'm not prepared for that. I'm going to use normally you use your hand, and they call it beating. You beat it. That is what they say. But, in catering terms, in Western catering terms, if you use that for cake, if you use this to mix, well, some people will say mixing, right? Others will say creaming. But I'm not creaming anything because it's not cake. I am mixing, yes. The whole thing is to add a lot of pressure to it. Okay? And then if you use a whisk, it's whisking. Right. let's see. Let's try and make gably. Gably, gably, gably. See? This, I don't like eating beans that much. I don't like eating beans or preparing beans the African way by adding potash or account saltpeter. I don't like using that in food. I like to prepare my food all natural with very minimum and basic ingredients. Hi, Mamad. Hello, hello. How are you? Hi, Ella. Hello. How are you doing? Sylvester. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Where are you guys watching me from? Where are you guys watching me from? It is nearly 3 o'clock in England. English time. English time? GMT. Okay, so mix, mix, mix. So I'm going to do it 2 types. First one, I'm going to add I'm not going to add the potash. And then second one I'll add, and then I'll see which of them comes out better. Okay. So this is a Ghanaian dish. This is a Ghanaian dish. Mamad General, you never told me where you're watching me from. Which country are you? I told you the other day I was in England, right? It's the phone. It is the phone that I'm using, that's why. Okay, so this mix, mix, mix. See? Oopsie, I'm making a mess. One thing I hate about cooking is the mess that you make. The mess, 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 mess. There. Oops, and I'm now splashing it on my face, which I shouldn't do. Okay, you guys have seen that I've got my I've got some water here with my steamer thingy immersed inside. Okay. Leave my hand to wash. Okay, so it's supposed to go in let's see how this works out, how it turns out. I'm going to do this one-sided. people say it takes very long to cook beans, okay? It takes a long time to cook beans, but I don't find it very long. I think it's because we are used to using all these charcoals and, and the LPG gas back home too. It's not very powerful or very strong. Over here, for some funny reason, these cookers are very, very strong. So it doesn't take long for food to be ready. So the reason why I had to cover and redo is because you have to lay them on top of each other. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of the normal one. Now let's do the abnormal one with the potash. Oops. So. Now let's talk. Let us talk about so many things. First of all, let's talk about what's happening in England. Yeah. So out of the blue, well, not out of the blue, we know that there was a trigger to, all the nonsense that started the demonstration, right? But like I always say, these days the world is so full of hate, okay? The world is so full of hate. I've got potassium in this water, so I've just added a tiny bit. To that to see how this works out. Yeah. We have a lot of foreigners in the UK, right? In fact, the indigenous English themselves are so few. So few. Because if you have to trace back people's heritage or their lineage, you realize that a majority of people that classify themselves as English or British are not truly British. Because you hear people's names, yeah, and you realize that, no, this is not an English name. You get it? You hear people's surnames, and you ask yourself, this doesn't sound English. But because, hi Melissa, I'm good. Good afternoon. How are you? But because maybe it was their grandparents, great-grandparents who migrated to the UK and became British or English, they obviously consider themselves English or British. And today you see descendants of those people now claiming we do not want foreigners or we want our country back. From who? From who do you want your country back from? From who? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Who do you want your country back from? Look at someone like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not an American. Well, his mom was Scottish, dad lineage German, but this is someone who has become a president or who became a president and has decided that all foreigners or some certain foreigners should not be allowed into America. The world has gone mad. The world has just gone mad to the point where you have people whose lineage, yeah, you know, doesn't qualify them to become original descendants, or it doesn't qualify them to call themselves indigenous people of a certain country, but because they have grown there and have established themselves there, they are now asking foreigners, or they are now calling other people foreigners and asking them to leave. Where is the common sense in that? You know, every race has got good and bad people. Every race has got good and bad people. Hi, Melissa, I'm making some tubani, a different type. Yeah, I'm steaming some bean dish. Okay, some bambaram bean dish. Okay, guys, now I'm adding the other type, the other one to this, and then I'll cover and let it like steam. Cover and let it steam. Yeah. I'm not going to do a whole lot because if I do that, you know, it will all go waste. Oh, there's even nothing left. Okay, just put it all in. Put it all in and let it cook. And let it cook. Right, there. Okay, back to what I was saying there. So, people just get up and refuse to think with their heads. And they are so full of bitterness within them that the least thing that happens, they try to unleash their anger and their frustration on other people. They try to make other people responsible for their misery, which should not be so. We all need to learn to take responsibility of our actions. We need to take responsibility. Stop blaming other people for your failure. Stop blaming other people for, things that are happening to you, or things that you have failed to do, for wrong choices that you have made in life. Yeah, we need to do that, because if you look at this life, especially, you look at things that are happening around the world, every single country or every single race is made up of good people and bad people, right? UK, you hear a lot of crimes being committed by Caucasians. And you also hear crimes being committed by other races. Now, what I do not agree with is when a Caucasian does something wrong or commits a crime, it is, downplayed. The seriousness of the crime or the repercussion is downplayed. But as soon as it is someone from a different race, an ethnic minority, then it is as if the person has committed such a crime that has never been heard of. It's as if the person has committed such a crime that has never been heard of. We see a lot of white people going about taking guns and killing people in churches, or just going on a random massacre, but that has never triggered any violent protest to the point whereby properties are destroyed, national properties, national infrastructures, national, um, national resources that are supposed to benefit the same people who are destroying them. People are claiming, oh, these immigrants are coming here and are taking our jobs. Well, if you people had taken the jobs in the first place, I don't think that the immigrants will even get the chance or have the chance of taking the jobs before you. You wouldn't find immigrants. In fact, the rate at which discriminations happen when it comes to jobs is such that, in every country, it's always the nationality of those countries first before immigrants. Go to Ireland, you hardly see a person of color being employed into certain jobs apart from the menial jobs or the low paying jobs or jobs such as cleaning and care and all those jobs that are the water is not there's still water. I don't know why it's just boiling and boiling now because of the steam. Yeah, you wouldn't find non-Irish being, overlooked, apart from jobs in which the Irish citizens themselves see as very tasking, very heavy-handed, construction jobs. Of course, construction jobs, those are not the sort of jobs that indigenous Irish people want to do. Care job, cleaning jobs, those are not the sort of jobs that the indigenous Irish people want to do. You only see them in supervisory positions. It's the same as here in the UK. In the UK, it's a little different because it is hard to tell by people's names. Yeah. Because it is difficult to tell by people's names whether they are truly Caucasians or, ethnic minority or immigrants. And the reason why I say this is because I have lived in Ireland. I lived in Ireland for 8 years, right? And I was studying along with a few Africans in an Irish-dominated school. Now, part of our course, we were meant to do a work experience, a few weeks of work experience, and you were supposed to organize that yourself. Those of us that were non-Irish, none of us got a place. Why? Because you write to these companies and sometimes you don't even get a response to your application or your letter. You will never even get a response to your letter acknowledging receipt or giving you a feedback to say, unfortunately, blah, 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 blah. Only for you to call and then the response you get is that, sorry, we already have people, with us. We already have students who are with us. But then, let an Irish person, write, make a request, do whatever, instantly they are given. We ended this course with none of us even getting jobs. Meanwhile, these are companies that will come to the school to recruit. These companies will come to the school and they will tell you, oh, we have a lot of places, we have a lot of vacancies, and we are encouraging you to apply and blah 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 blah. We are encouraging students from this school, which means that they've made provisions to, you know, take on students from the school. That is why they have taken time to come and advertise themselves. But then you put in the application, you know, only to find that your Irish mates have been given, but you haven't even been given. Hi, thank you for your application. Unfortunately, blah blah blah. You have to call for them to turn you down and say, sorry, we are full, we have no places, blah blah blah. That is how it is. Why does it happen that way? Because you know an Irish name, like the Irish names are so glary. The surnames, the normal names, you know, McGregor, O'Leary, O'Connell, you know, name it. By you being called Mohammed, Alasan, what do you call it, Ajiman or whatever attached to your name, it's you know, it's not it's not a secret, or it's not, you know, how would I put it? It's common sense that you are not Irish. Okay, but the UK, the names are so mixed up. Yeah, they are so mixed up. You have mixed race English people, people that whose parents have intermarried, people whose descendants or whose great grandparents married Polish, married Danish, Swedish, and the names are mixed. You see mixed race. I should have turned it down. Why do I keep forgetting to turn down the heat today? No wonder it keeps, you know, right. So the names here are mixed. You have, look at someone like Ajua Abua. This girl's mom is British, Caucasian, sorry, and the dad is Ghanaian. But she looks like she looks Caucasian. She is mixed race, all right, but she looks more white than, you know. So someone like her with a budding modeling career. Hi Chinenye, I'm good. We are all good, thank you. How are you? Trust you are good. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just busy talking. Like, you know, so someone like her will always have a good chance of, you know, given opportunities or given preference when it comes to jobs and stuff like that, right? But it is when you get into the work environment, because this is something that I have experienced quite a lot. There was a time I was sent, I had an assignment, right, to go do some work. And I was the one who was meant to go because I've worked there several times. And then I wasn't available because I was doing a different assignment. So once I finished with that assignment I was doing, I was sent to that place, or I was called to go do some work at that place. And because I wasn't available, they had sent someone else who is Caucasian to the place. So I went and met the person there. And then the plan was that because before that guy came, I was there, but I had to leave to go do some work and come back and blah, 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 you know, that kind of thing. I was made to understand that that person was supposed to leave in a few days, as in I was now supposed to take over that job from that person, because the other person, we're supposed to be two, but the other person was off. So it's like I have gone to cover up for that person being off. Now, the understanding was this other person who had gone to cover me was not supposed to remain there. I was supposed to remain there. But guess what? On the day that this person was supposed to leave, I get a phone call because the person wasn't happy that he was supposed to leave that assignment for me to take over, even though the person knew that I was always the person doing that job. So this person just made a phone call, and then I get a call to say, oh, sorry, unfortunately, you cannot stay there any longer, or you cannot continue doing the assignment after this other person returns. And that other guy has, which means that this person has just rung to say, why does he have to leave the job for me to take over? You know, even though he knows that I have always been the person there, blah, 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 blah. So what happened? What's happened is that I'm a white guy, you know, and I am supposed to be working. I am supposed to have a job. I am supposed to blah, 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 whether I've been there or not. Why do I have to leave for someone who is not a white person to be in a job when I am not there? Or, you know, or when, you know, I don't know whether you understand my explanation. So obviously, because I am not white, you should be the one not staying there. You know, it doesn't matter that you have been there. It doesn't matter that you've been, you know the place, you know the job, you know, blah, blah, blah. You have, you know, this is a new guy. He's taking over because he's white. You get? So these are the sort of things that keep happening, you know, in terms of job wise. And, you know, this thing about race and preferential treatments and, you know, that kind of a thing. It happens to us all the time. It happens all the time. You go to workplaces, and because you are the only non-Caucasian, you find that you are busy doing the work while they are sitting there on their backside, chatting, smoking, drinking tea, and stuff like that. That's what's been happening. That is what has been happening. But they are complaining that our presence here has been a threat to them being able to do whatever they like. Yet they forget that, you know, when they are in jobs or they get to do jobs that we cannot get to do, or it will have to take us a special luck or special grace of God to be in certain positions, right? So who do they want their country from? Because we are not in control. We don't run things. We still get discriminated upon. You know, we still work 3 times harder than they have to work. You know, they are saying there are no jobs for them, yet the borders have had to be opened and for sponsorship being offered to foreign workers because the country was short-staffed. Like, it was really bad. It was in a bad shape in terms of getting people to do jobs. So they had to get people from outside. They had to allow people from outside to come do the job. So why? Hi, Mary Adams. Good afternoon. How are you? So why is all this complaining? They have come and they are taking our jobs and we want our country back and blah blah blah, and they are murderers and they are thieves and they are, you know, yes, there are a lot of bad nuts. You cannot tell me that, there is no country without bad nuts. There are a lot of bad nuts amongst us, and they keep giving us bad reputation. Unfortunately, some people are so stupid and do not know how to be grateful and to behave, after being given an opportunity to better themselves, an opportunity that they will never get when they are in their home country. Hi, Incam, how are you? Yeah, some people are just so dumb and so stupid. They forget that, look, you've been given a chance to come make life for yourself. So why don't you behave? Why don't you get rid of your rotten nature, your rotten attitude? People come here and they still show their bad side, which I think is because they are psychologically unwell, mentally unwell. That is why they behave in such a manner. And I absolutely condemn people who are like that. In fact, one of the problems I have with a lot of Africans out here is especially the men, the guys who come and instead of, at least make yourself presentable, appear clean, professional, and decent. Do you know that sometimes I see, I see other Africans walking by and I'm like, I have to, you look at their appearance and they look like people who either they haven't had a bath for a long time, they are weed smokers, with that Rastafarian dreadlocks looking all unkempt. Honestly, I don't like such an appearance. I do not. I do not subscribe to it because it makes you look like a criminal. Believe you me, it makes you look like a criminal. You know, Leaving yourself with the hair like that, and you should wash your hair every day. Wash and comb your hair nicely. Look smart. Look presentable. Try and look decent. So that way people wouldn't look at you as if you're a criminal. Like, first impression matters. First impression matters. It does. Yeah, first impression matters. I used to fight with my son every day because he never liked, you know, combing his hair. I used to fight with him all the time. You know, brush your hair. If you can't brush it, go have a haircut. Cut it all low. And now with all this so-called beard thing, I don't even know, where that also just appeared from. It's become a fashion. You see them with beard and making them look some way. You know, just look simple, look nice, look presentable, look professional. Yeah, no one will give you that criminal tag. Yeah, no one will give you that criminal tag. Look nice and neat. Do you get it? Because if I see you looking unkempt and then a crime has been committed, yeah, even me, I would think that you are the one. Because I remember gone are the days, yeah, the only people who you used to see with dreadlocks and stuff were the weed smokers. Hi, brother Isaac, how are you? Yeah, this so-called beard and dreadlocks and stuff, I know it's a Rastafarian culture, and part of the Rastafarian culture is the weed smoking. And you smoke the weed and it gets into your head so much so that you do not even care about how you look. You don't care about what you wear. You don't care about anything. you know, that is how this so-called Rastafarian thing came about. Yeah, yeah. That is how this Rastafarian thing came about. Look at a proper Rastafarian. A Rastafarian, whether a man or a woman, they would have left their hair and washed and combed. And I think I heard, the way they start the dread was to mix the hair with some egg. Break raw eggs and use it to. I don't get it. But how can you stand that smell without washing it for, you know, that length of time, and then allow it to look all tangled up and filthy and that kind of thing? But you understand, because these are people who are smoking, and once you start smoking that igbo, you don't even you your eyes are not clear enough to know that what you are doing or what you are wearing is torn or looks horrible. You don't high basketballs. You don't. Do you get it? You don't care about how you look. That is how all this Rastafarian, and it is their culture, and you respect them for that, you understand them for that. But for a sane person to think that, oh, well, let me also start doing that, how would you convince me that you don't smoke? How will you convince me that you are right in the head? How will you convince me that you know how to think clearly? You get? Because you cannot convince me that, oh, I'm a normal, you know, normal gentleman or a lady, and even though I don't smoke, I don't like, my hair is, I'm thinking straight, my eyes are clear, you know, I've decided not to care about how I look. You get? So you need to, at least, if you know you don't practice that weed smoking and stuff like that, and that your head is clear and clear enough to know what a clean shirt and how a neat hair looks like, then you shouldn't appear in that manner. You shouldn't, because you know what weed smokers do. They don't act like they are not, what would I call it? They are not aware of their actions. Some of them hear voices. Some of them hear voices. I was reading a news item today about a guy in Nottingham that was known to the mental health or the psychiatric team, whom they discharged, and he went on to commit like murders, terrible murders, which is really bad, very, very bad, But these are some of the things, that is what the weed does to you. So if I know you smoke and I am approaching you, I have to be careful, because I know you could act rash, which you cannot be blamed for, because you are under an influence. You are under an influence. So you shouldn't expect me to be approachable towards you looking that way. You shouldn't expect me to be approachable towards you, because you look like someone who smoked weed. See, that is how you can explain this whole scenario or this whole thing. You get? That is why I try to tell people that, look, forget about it being fashion. Just think about yourself and your reputation. Try to limit yourself from being involved or being entangled in things that you are innocent of. And the only way you can do that is by looking that part, look professional, so that no one will stand somewhere and say because you look professional, you resemble a thief. And therefore, since something has been stolen, you are the one responsible for stealing it. See? So, honestly, we need guys, African men, Africa, especially those in school. Those in school. Ebere, hello, how are you? Happy New Week. Thanks. Yeah, especially those in school. Forget about all this fashion because someone has done it, peer influence and beard gang. What sort of, not nice. It's not. It's not. Don't expect people, because people still cannot, you make it difficult for people to differentiate between someone who really smokes and someone who doesn't. You make it difficult. Hi, Sandra. You make it difficult for people to be able to differentiate between someone who smokes and therefore is hearing voices and could act rash at any given time, to you who claim, I don't smoke, but I want to look that way. I want to look unkempt. I want to look like a thief. I want to look like a mentally deranged person. I want to look like a criminal. Honestly, I've this thing, this new threads, yeah, the thread app. Right now, this thing has, yeah, there is no water. The thread app, yeah. So the thread app, I get a lot of people requesting friends, or they follow you and they want you to follow back. But most of them, if you send me a request, I'll look at your profile first. It keeps him calm. Since when have you ever seen weed keeping someone calm? Since when have you ever seen someone smoking and being kept calm? You get, how calm? How calm? Look at that person. How successful is he? How successful is he? His life is a mess. His life hasn't moved forward because he has been busy getting high instead of, developing himself career-wise. You see, that is one thing you guys need to understand. The most important, we are talking about success. We are talking about, oh, I want money. I want to be rich. I want to be this. I want to be that. Yet we forget that for you to have that money, there is never a shortcut to having money, except having a clear and concise plan for your life. If you take your education seriously at a young age, you will pass your exam and you will be lucky to get into a tertiary institution, train yourself for a career, and also be able to get a job right after. What a lot of you do not understand is that, hi Andrew, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah. What a lot of you don't understand is that yes, sometimes it's not just hard work alone that makes you successful, but being smart thinking, okay? Right. Let's look at things this way. When I was studying, when I was in school, right? Like I said, Our school didn't even have good lecturers, which meant that all through our time of being in school, we never learned anything. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. How are things? I was hoping to hear from you, but I never did. You know, when I was in school, we never really had lecturers, right? Which meant that we hardly learned anything to pass our exams, okay? But then, because I had smart ideas, or I was a smart thinking person, as soon as I finished school, what did I do? I said to myself, I don't need to sit at home being idle, okay? I don't need to sit at home being idle. I did not have connections. I didn't have rich relatives or wealthy relatives or well-connected relatives who will push me into either the university or push me into places and stuff like that. No, I had to, get out there and say to myself, I am going to look for a job. That was a smart thinking idea. Now, did that one single idea contribute to where I am today? Yes, it did. Because with my smart idea and with prayers and with determination, I went out there, I approached a company's director, and I said, I just spoke to him. I was so bold and confident and knew what I wanted that I presented my case to him and said, look, I finished, I'm at home. I don't want to stay at home being idle. I want to do something for myself. I want to start working, and I don't mind whatever it is. This man was so impressed that he gave me an opportunity in a company that had never employed females. Do you get it? So it is the smartness that has gotten me this far. Now, imagine that I was busy smoking, or I had decided that, right, I finished school, or while I was in school, there was no, I know that, no, I wasn't going to do well in school anyway, because I never learned anything, where there were no lecturers. There were no lecturers, therefore, I was, we never got to learn anything. Therefore, I know I failed my exams already. Therefore, I know, I don't have connection. I don't have wealthy parents who pay for me to go to the university, even though I hadn't passed and stuff like that. They gave me the opportunity to work. And I didn't disappoint. I continued working hard. So imagine that I had decided, because this place is who you know, or use what you have to get what you want. And because I don't have it, let me drown my misery in smoking. Or let me drown my misery by engaging in prostitution. So that at least that way I can make money. That is the most foolish way of thinking. Do you get it? And people think that way most of the times because they allow themselves to be carried away. Peer influence. Someone will come and say, oh, why don't you, there is this smoke that if you draw a little bit, it will make you forget all your problems. Says who? Then you start smoke, you smoke one, you smoke two, and then it starts making you high. It starts making you high, and you cannot stop from just the one and two. It draws you in, and it draws you deeper, and then you become addictive that you cannot get out on your own. It takes a lot of intervention. It takes a lot of medical and professional help to be able to get you out of that. And even when you come out of that, you still have withdrawal symptoms every now and then. You get that? You are never able to think straight because the least stress, you feel like going back to have a small, to draw a little bit more. Do you get it? So that smoking thing just destroys you. It doesn't give you any, it doesn't make you think about how to succeed or what to do for yourself. It makes you feel so small. It makes you feel as if, there is no hope in this life, and because of that, no, it's like, oh, give up. You keep hearing the voice telling you that you that do not have parents who are wealthy, you that do not have connection anywhere, how do you think that you are going to get to you are going to find yourself working in that office? Forget about it already. That is what it does to you. It tells you there is no hope, so don't even try it. Again, but you need that clear mindset. You need that clear mindset to say to yourself, I have got potential. I have got brains. I am smart. I can do so much for myself. I can, I need to look clean. I need to look presentable for people to believe in me. Again, I need to look presentable for people to believe in me. Forget about fashion, because the only time you see all these bearded people look good is when they are attending an event or an occasion, which means that, they cannot be their natural self at all times. For them to be their natural selves, they will look awful. They will look awful that no one wants to be closer to them. But look at me, whether I wear makeup or not. If I hardly wear makeup, mine is just a touch, natural powder to smoothen your face. But look at my face. It's all natural. It's all natural. Do I look horrible? Do I look like a criminal? No, I don't. Even wearing a dressing gown doesn't make me look insane, does it? No, I still look presentable. Yeah, I can walk out like this to the shops. I can walk out like this to the shop. But imagine you having your hair in dreadlocks and appearing like this into a shop. They will look at you and think that you are coming, your head is so screwed up that, at any given minute, the weed that you are smoking might tell you to start stealing or to steal something from the shop. You get? And our skin color doesn't also help. It doesn't also help us at all. It makes you look more hideous and look scary with all that nasty beard and whatever thing. It does. Okay. So all I'm saying is, look, we are in a tough situation here. Your aim of being in this country is because back in your home country, things are not good. The struggle is real. Life is tough. And life out here is better than being back in your home country. So whilst you are here, why don't you concentrate on that mission of being there? Concentrate by staying away from trouble or doing things that will keep you away from all forms of trouble. And by keeping you away from all forms of trouble, I mean making you not to look suspicious. Yeah. because you'll be shocked to know that a lot of Africans, a lot of Black youth have gotten into trouble because they have been at the right place at the wrong time. Let's say, go to London, all these gang group, not even gang. Here in the evening, you find a lot of the young kids roaming about the streets. Not only in the evening self, as soon as they come back from school, you see them come out in groups, right? Playing. Now, you are in a country that is mixed, not only Africans. You are amongst, people from different races, different nationality. And if unfortunately you are the only Black person amongst those kids, and what these kids get up to, the mischievous things that these kids get up to is that they like to mess around. They can decide that maybe you are with kids who are so rude and so naughty that theirs is to cause trouble. So they see anyone passing and they could say, or throw a stone at that person, or go and, do this, go and do that, go and do that. All of them can agree to do that. Yeah. But when they do it and something happens and it becomes a crime, don't be surprised that they will all point a finger at you for being responsible. And let's say if they point this finger at you and you also look hideous, you look like someone who smokes weed, what do you think is going to happen? Definitely the law enforcement agencies are going to believe them. Because with them, no matter how unkept, let's say even if they haven't bathed for a whole week or a whole year, they have been blessed with, the sort of looks that wouldn't make you look like a criminal. You will never see them, with dreadlocks. Their hair will never become dread. Even if they don't wash their hair, they can still brush their hair. Their hair is always neat. Yeah, they always wear neat clothing. But you, the so-called African, your hair is like that, and your shirt is torn. It's got holes in it. And the thing is, which normal human being will see that their clothing are torn and they will still wear it? They'll think that this person, are you normal? If you see that your attire is torn, why are you still wearing it? But now they say it's fashion, but that fashion kind of portrays you in a different light, because there are so many things we do out here that are not seen as normal. They classify it as abnormal. Yeah, it's normal for them to do it, but it's not normal for you to do. Okay, that is it. It is the truth. You get? So, main thing is look decent so that no one will point a finger at you. Okay? You are here for a purpose. Concentrate on that. Stay away from trouble. Stay away from friends that are no good. Don't try to belong. It's one of the things that our people, like Africans, we just love, we want people to like us. We love crowd. We want to be surrounded by people. Hi, Yemilo, how are you? We want to be surrounded by people. We cannot learn to live a quiet life. That is our problem. We cannot learn to live a quiet life. A lot of Africans find it difficult that, I'm in my house, my neighbor is in her house, and we don't even see to greet each other. It's greeting by force. It's not by force. There are some neighbors, this is my next door neighbor self, I hardly see them. You could go weeks without seeing your neighbor. Is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. You all have your lives to live. You don't have to be friends with them. You don't have to be friends with anyone. But African kids, they are like, no, 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 no. I must have, everyone must be my friend. I must force myself to belong, even if they don't want you. Yeah, you are forcing yourself, and you force yourself to the point that you will do anything they ask you to do. You will do anything they ask you to do. And this is where our children, our Black children, get into trouble. Because you see, let's say a company of 4 or 5 Caucasian kids, but you want to be in their midst because you are the only African kid in the neighborhood. And then they'll be like, okay, you go throw a stone at that person. And you are willing to do it because you want to be friends with them. But do they want to be friends with you? Most of the time, no. No, they only want you in their midst for fun, so that they can have a good laugh. That is natural for them. It is natural for them. They only want you in their midst as an object of fun, an object of ridicule. So they always push you to go cause trouble. Go cause the trouble because you want to prove your loyalty. You want to prove that you really mean what you said about wanting to be friends with them. Then you end up in trouble, because when the law enforcement agency is coming to get them, they will all run away and leave you on your own, because they have already planned it. They will set you up, and then we'll all point fingers at you. And what would you say? You're not responsible. How would you prove that? Their word against yours. Yeah. So honestly, it's really a tough stand. It is a very tough stand. And at the end of the day, neither do these people who are like, we want our country back, neither are they right in saying that, because they are just confused people. They are just confused people. You have your country. No one has taken your country from you. But for you to say, I want my country back, or want our country back, and start destroying things, it's just stupidity. And then to us Africans, or the guys who are like, oh, it's fashion, dreadlocks, beard, looking unkempt, looking like a criminal, it is not, I'm not an office worker to be looking professional all the time, or to be dressing neatly, to be presenting myself neatly all the time. I'm not. So why should I be bothered? Yes, you should be bothered, because you save yourself a lot of trouble. You save yourself. Anyway, let me sort out my food, and I need to go to the shops. I need to go buy stuff to cook. Yeah. I hate cooking beans. Anything beans. It takes forever to cook, doesn't it? Right. Let me leave you guys. I need to run to the shop. But hopefully I'll try and be back again on live, so that we can talk more. I like to chit chat sometimes. When I'm in a good mood, I just like to rant about anything and everything that is happening around, because there's a lot of nonsense happening, and these need to stop. or they need to change. They need to. And the only way we can do it is by being the change that we need. Yeah. Bolanle. Hi, Bolanle. How are you? How are you? Odefenwa. Bolanle Odefenwa. What tribe? I know you're Nigerian, but what tribe? Because Bolanle will be Yoruba, right? But Odefenwa sounds a bit Igbo. Am I right? Anyway. Okay, guys. Okay. Let me go to the shop and then we can cook something delicious later on. Okay. Ciao. Ciao, Bella. Simbona more time, do like it. Simbona more time, do like it. Simbona more time, do like it. Ujusuyama. Simbona more time, do like it. Simbona.